Tax cuts was your other thing,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Tax cuts. We believe in a solid, flat rate of tax cuts all around for rich, poor, middle class, everyone. Because we believe that if there's more money being brought into the government to then be spent recklessly,
You're gonna tax everybody, including like people who don't
No, I
learn
think
a
he's gonna not,
living wage.
not tax everybody.
Oh, he's not going to tax everybody. Sorry.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's.
Sorry.
what we are saying is we are going to tax everyone at a flat rate. So for someone who makes less money, they will pay less money. For someone who makes more money, they will pay more money.
Are you serious? You actually favor a flat tax?
Yes.
That's gonna
You
happen?
take this one.
Okay. That would be awesome. That seems really unrealistic. Can you?
What's your plan
Do you
for a
wanna
flat
dispute
tax
that?
that wouldn't completely bankrupt the government?
We don't believe in a big government. We want to keep the government as small and as little as possible and get out of everyone's affairs. Everyone has the right to make their own money, spend it as they please, lose it as they please, and make it back as they please.
Well, I mean, we know that you're not a real party and barely a real candidate. So
Excuse
I mean,
me. Excuse me, the Libertarian Party is a real party.
I mean, yes.
I
in
mean,
the
you're,
strict
but
sense
like,
of the word.
I
It
mean,
is a
I
real party.
suppose, but I mean,
Undeniably, just like the Green Party is a real party, the Populist Party was a real party at one point.
Then what would you define as a party, Mr. Owen?
I mean, do
Oh,
you
no,
honestly
it's
think it's
definitely
realistic?
a
Do you
party.
honestly think that you have a real
I
prospect
just
of
think
being elected?
at a certain point, there's a time in which you're just throwing ideas out because they're intellectually interesting. And I understand you're a very intelligent man. Your education proves that. But at a certain point, you're just putting policy ideas out because to get a reaction almost. And I don't necessarily see how that translates into the language of policies and laws and cold facts.
And in terms of the election, it honestly just seems that you play spoiler to the other two candidates by taking some votes from either side. So what would you say to those who, like Malloy and I, don't seem to take your candidacy all that seriously?
I see. Well, what I'd have to say to that is that it's come to a time in Virginia's history and its history of politics in particular that we see a government that is overwrought with tons and tons of bureaucracies and positions and firms, and you see the government is overwrought with politics and
It's overwrought with
Association.
politics.
Okay, we're not here to criticize Mr. Wagner's vocabulary. We're here to hear about his policies.
I apologize. Let's
Let
continue.
Lonoff alone. Thank you.
No, I actually stand by that. The politics of minutia that are completely irrelevant to the actual functioning of a government are plaguing our system. But anyway, going on, we have too many things that are clustering in the government that are completely unnecessary, that we need to eradicate and push more funding into the people.
Could you name some programs that you would slash if elected governor of Virginia?
I would slash funding for education, but I'll get back to that. I would also slash funding for the
Benefits programs.
Did Mr. Wagner have a seizure?